A common question that we always get is, I had this injury years back to a part of my body that I've now re-injured in this car wreck. Do I still have a case? The answer is you absolutely do. What's important from our perspective is look at the baseline of how you were feeling on the day, the week, the month right before the wreck. And if you're having no pain in that particular body part, then of course you have a case, new injury, and you start like you would any other case. Now, if you've had some residual pain in that body part that was still giving you some problems, but this wreck accelerated it or exacerbated it or made it worse, you still have a case. Because that's exactly what we argue, is that you had this prior problem, but it wasn't preventing you from doing certain things. It wasn't making you go see doctors, make these visits, and now you are. And so, of course, we argue that it has accelerated a prior injury, and the insurance companies recognize that. There's also some situations, like we had recently, where a client who was a basketball player had torn his ACL 10, 15 years ago, had surgery, was doing fine, but because he was involved in a wreck, it re-injured that very same knee, and he had to have surgery again. In that case, we were able to use his prior injury as an argument on his behalf to strengthen his case, to show that because he had these prior problems, he was more susceptible to the injury that he sustained. He needed that surgery that much more. And the insurance companies, of course, have no real argument to combat that. So the bottom line is, don't be dissuaded to pursue a claim because you had some sort of prior problem. What's important is you're honest with your attorney. You tell your attorney, hey, I had this prior neck problem, had this prior back problem, and then we can figure out the best way to develop it, to use it to your advantage in pursuing the case against the insurance company.